The introduction of Mesopotamia. Many people believe that Mesopotamia is where civilization first began. In ancient Mesopotamia, there are between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers northeast of Egypt. Major ancient civilizations like Babylon, Sumer, and Assyria were situated. The Greeks gave the area the name Mesopotamia, which literally translates to "in the middle of rivers," in reference to its geographic location. The region was situated between the Mediterranean Sea to the west and the Persian Gulf to the east, north of the Sinai Peninsula. Al Jazeera, which means the island, was another name for its occasion because it is located between two bodies of water. Because of the abundant natural water supplies used for agriculture in the crescent-shaped region, ancient Mesopotamia is most frequently referred to as a portion of the Fertile Crescent. Although there were native civilizations all over the world all the time, Mesopotamia was one of the first places where multiple important world powers rose up on their own. Mesopotamia was a favorite location for ancient civilization to inhabit because of the fertile soil and the river's role as natural borders. This civilization had a big influence on how cultures and civilization developed all across the planet. Culture background. Despite the numerous dynasties and civilizations that ruled Mesopotamia throughout the millennia, their shared cultural legacy served as unifying factor for all of them. By creating the Sumerian language, which the Akkadians briefly adopted, and writing in cuneiform, which included pushing a stylus into a piece of paper to make the words rather than pictures, the Sumerians established these cultural traditions. The people of Mesopotamia are regarded as civilized since they possessed writing, established villages, farmed their own food, tamed animals, and employed many classes of employees.
The geography of Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia means the land between two rivers in ancient Greek, referring to the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. But the region can be broadly defined to include the area that is now Iraq, Syria, and Turkey. The oldest known occurrence of the name Mesopotamia dates to the 4th century BCE. In the modern time, it has been more generally applied to all the land between the Euphrates and the Tigris, thereby incorporating not only part of Syria, but all of Iraq, Turkey, and Iran. A further distinction is usually made between Upper or Northern Mesopotamia and Lower or Southern Mesopotamia. Upper Mesopotamia, also known as the Jazeera, is the area between the Euphrates and the Tigris from their sources down to Baghdad. Lower Mesopotamia is the area from Baghdad to the Persian Gulf.
Tradition and culture and gaming for Mesopotamian. Ancient Mesopotamians had ceremony each month. The theme of the ritual and festival for each month was determined by at least 6 important factors. These factors are the lunar phase, the annual agriculture cycle phase, equinox and solstice, the local mythos, the success of reigning monarch, New Year festival, and the commemoration of specific historical event. In music, people during the Mesopotamian time write the song mostly to describe important events, and some are written for the gods. Kings were entertained by the music and song, but the common people also took pleasure in them, singing and dancing in their house or in the marketplace. Songs were sung to kids, then taught them to their children. Thus, before writing became more widely used, songs were passed down orally over many generations. These songs served as a method of preserving crucial knowledge about historical occurrences across the ages. They also have games as entertainment. The Asian rulers enjoying hunting, boxing, and wrestling are regularly displayed in art, and some version of polo with men sitting on the shoulder of other men rather than horses was presumably popular. They also play measure similar to rugby, but play with a wooden ball. They also play a board game called the Royal of Ur, which is comparable to the backgammon. Housing, archaeological data, visual representation of structure, and writing on the building technique are used to study ancient Mesopotamian architecture. Scholarly writing often focus on temple, places, city wall, gates, and other monumental structure. However, work on domestic architecture can be found on occasion. An archaeological survey were also enable of The study of early Mesopotamian city form brick is dominating material since it was readily accessible locally, whereas construction stone had to be transported for a long distance in the most city. The ziggurat is the most characteristic structure, and the tomb frequently have a messy entrance, the most renowned of the which being Iftar Gate from Neo-Babylonian Babylon, painted with creature in the polychrome brick and currently housed in mostly Berlin Pergamon Museum. Tools and weapons. Stone was utilized for a variety of purposes in ancient Mesopotamia. Sculpture chipped away at the statue with a variety of stone, and the stone were used as a drill bits by construction workers. It's apparent that flint was utilized for arrowheads, sickles, and plowshare. Blades and borrow were sharpened with obsidian. Ancient Mesopotamians were warriors and experienced military tacticians. The weapons ancient Mesopotamians used were highly verified. For instance, some soldiers used equipment they used for the work as weapons of war. For example, men who used sling to hunt as a part of their job, then used the sling to kill when conscripted into the military. They also used spears, mace, axe, and bow and arrow. They also carry daggers and swords, including the sickle-shaped sword. To protect themselves, the soldier would have body armor, round helmet, and small round shield.
Mesopotamia language and writing. The language Mesopotamia was Sumerian, Babylonian, and Assyrian. They have come down to us in the cuneiform script. The subject which studied Mesopotamian language and the sources written in them is called Assyriology. Mesopotamian language and the cuneiform script are mostly written in clay tablets, though they could also be carved on stone. Being incredibly durable, clay tablets have been recovered in thousands at archaeology sites from the Mediterranean to Bahrain to Iran, as well as records of daily life and administration that include religious, mathematical, musical, astronomical texts, laws, and a rich literature that includes the Epic of Gilgamesh. The social structure of Mesopotamia. The Mesopotamia social hierarchy basically consisted of three classes such as nobility, free citizen, and the slave. The first one, the king. The king was the top rank holder of the Mesopotamia social hierarchy. The king was responsible for creating the laws. They were also believed to as literal god on earth.
Seven governments of Mesopotamia. They are Sumeria, Ur, Khasisis, Akkadia, Babylon, Assyria, and Chaldea. The Sumerian government was a form of theocracy, meaning that the deity or god was a supreme ruler and kings and priests were given divine credence to rule their lands. The Sumerians had over 3,000 gods, which each city had its own government and laws. The Akkadian Empire was the first Asian empire of Mesopotamia after the long-lived civilization of Sumer. It was centered in the city of Akkad and its surrounding region. The empire united Akkadian and Sumerian speakers under one rule. For a while, ancient Babylon ruled the whole Mesopotamia region in the south. The government and laws of Babylon were like the government and laws of Sumer. There was a king and other nobles who ruled with the help of assembly of the people. The laws of Babylon were taken from the laws of Sumer. The Assyrians first rose to power when the Akkadian Empire fell. The Babylonians had control of southern Mesopotamia and the Assyrians had the north. One of their stronger leaders during this time was King Shamshi-Adad. Under Shamshi-Adad, the empire expanded to control much of the north and the Assyrians grew wealthy. In conclusion, ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia and Egypt had made great contributions to many aspects of the present age, including the areas of art, architecture, philosophy, and literature. These contributions were directly influenced by the geographical features and political structures of those civilizations.